level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed, right? Being able to play against in Spain.
You're in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta. It's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club, but it's so much through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Gold Championships, and now we have LIV.
It's very exciting, and really, if there's ever a place to get my first win, I feel like this would be the perfect week.
This golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
What the heck were you playing today? It's brutal out there.
It is brutal. I don't know. I just made everything I looked at, Jerry. You have those days. This was one of those days for me, so I really enjoyed it. Every time I stood over a putt, just felt like I could make it. And you don't get days like that too often, or certainly I don't. So, yeah, I relished in it, and I managed to hit a lot of good shots as well. So it was a special day.
This is SportsRage. All right, that was an adventurous first hour of the show. I tell you, we were ready to go, and one thing after another. But we're going into level 2. Captain Kurtz, George Kurtz, on the radar here at level 2. Our boy Mo Khan will step up and in as well. We showed the video earlier, but let's show it again because it was kind of a preemptive strike. So let's go to our best event here before I get to my Olympic best bets. And we got Michael Jordan in Portofino. Jordan's just living it up. This is how Jordan eats. And check out the waiters, how into the song they are, pumping their fist up. And also, take a look at the diners in this place, Ken. Nothing on the menu is $19.99 in this place. Portofino. There's Michael Jordan there. He's awesome. Sax player. The waiter's coming up and serving him. His wife is loving it.
That is awesome.
That's when you're Michael Jordan, Cam. Like you walk into a restaurant in Portofino and the waiters come out with the sax players and the waiter, like you got 8 waiters. Yeah, that's some badass stuff. That's why Jordan's the king.
He is the king. They're all dancing. That's a smooth sax. That guy was really good too. Like, sorry, no offense, I know Johnny.
One of the waiters was great. He was on the plate and he was fit. He was like this, getting the crowd. He was like, he's on the plate.
Yeah,
very,
we don't
very
get that
impressive.
type of service when we go up there, Morency. Yeah, that place looked amazing. I can tell you, it looked like.
That's it'll cost thousands of dollars. Like that's you get pay for in this role.
That's true.
So this other one is Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards, of course, UFC champion. And I've always been a Leon Edwards fan. One of these guys that's like he doesn't talk a lot. So he's not American. He's not decked out in tattoos. He doesn't say stupid things. So he doesn't get promoted by them. He had to win like 12 fights in a row to get a title shot, and he finally did, and now they can't get the belt from him. And he's fighting a guy which they never want to give a shot either to because he's boring, but he never loses, and Bilal Muhammad. But anyway, so Leon Edwards, they're fighting in London this week, and here he is training, going for a run in London. And if this doesn't want to make you bet on Cam Newton, look at this.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Honest to God, is like $1 million. Like that's like winning the lottery. You like in stride. Come on, Morency. I know I saw your tweet, so I had to watch it. So like I had to watch it like 10 times and say, no, like is this some kind of joke? Like in stride game, not even like standing still, moving, and like come on. Oh my! Like, you could do that.
That's one of those deals where, yeah.
Yes.
Well, people are like,
Come on.
it must have taken him a lot of times. What do you think? A UFC champion is trained for a fight, time to sit there and do this over and over?
Take 1006. No,
Yeah,
that was literally on the first page.
And if you tried to do it, it would never work. Like, it would never happen.
You're right.
It'd be like, like it was just one of those random. People are like, no, that's AI. It's fake. I'm like, no, there's no AI in that. Like, it's just, there's like. Yeah, that's what people believe it's real. They think it's AI.
A guy does something miraculous.
Yeah, but AI is slicker than that. Like AI looks like kind of whatever. You can fake a lot of things with AI, but there's no switch or anything. Like he just can't. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
And what does Leon Edwards have to prove by doing that, Cam, as a UFC fighter? That I just stated his personality. He doesn't even like the media. Like he doesn't talk to anyone. Like, so he's like, oh yeah, I want to go viral fight week for kicking a basketball into a hoop. Like you're right. Like, he was running, he kicked the ball, and it went in. Like
yeah, that's fantastic. Honest to God, Morency, like you got to and not do that again. That is wild. Absolutely sick.
Yeah, he's one of these dudes too. That's just good at everything, probably, without knowing it. He's a fighter, right? Oh, look at that! Like he's also British too. So you saw that nice footwork with the football, the soccer ball, Cam. These guys are used to kicking. All right. So speaking of which, the Olympics are set to begin on Wednesday. The opening ceremony is Friday, and like it's in the streets, and like in the river. There's going to be floats and stuff in the water, and like they're going all out. But the Olympics are set to begin. So if you're getting your bets in, it's time, like point blank. Now, yes, there's some events that are in 2 weeks in August, this and that, but the odds change. And also, it's the Olympics. So like once the group starts, or you know what I'm saying? Like everything changes after, and they're going to pull some stuff. So if you're betting on the Olympics, it's time to start getting your bets in. And I got crushed in the CFL over the weekend, which hurts my Olympic bankroll. I'm going to have to load up some more because, listen, the Olympics come once every 4 years. We put quite a bit of research into this for everybody. So we'll start off here with China. Over under 33.5 gold medals. Number one, we know China will cheat if they can. So, like, they're going to go all in. I'm just being real.
What drug are you using? Well, we never heard of that one.
Yeah, like, so, like, if you can't beat them, just, like, bet on them. Like, that's the way I look at it. I'm like, well.
I agree with you.
I'm thinking, you know what? The whole thing is, guys, I'll tell you, too, there's a Olympic predictor system called the Grace Note. And there's a lot of these European universities and British universities and algorithms and simulations and all this. So the Grace Note is kind of the Bible of Olympic projections as far as medal projections. And not just them, but I've read various other computer, a lot of simulated stuff, Cam. And a lot of people think China could give USA a run for the money for most gold medals in this Olympics. Like, I've seen China projected all the way up to 37 to 39. USA are 39 to 41, depending on the book. So, listen, crazier bets have been made than taking China to win more than 33.5 gold medals in the Olympics. So, I think China can get there. As far as the U.S. is concerned, the U.S. are sort of like betting on the Yankees or the Dodgers or something, in a sense that, betting is big in America. It's the United States of America. It's America. So the number is going to be really sharp when you get to the Americans. And this one, I found some value here. There seems to be 41s in a lot of places. 40 and a half, 41s. I'm getting 39 and a half. Yeah, I got to lay 50 cents. But I think the United States can get to 40 gold medals. I don't see why they can't. Get to 40 gold medals, rack them up in the pool, track and field. Basketball, there's a lot of ways that they can get gold medals. So I think it's a fair number. Canada is just 5.5. So Canada basically, Cam, is Summer McIntosh, the 17-year-old swimming phenom. She made her Olympic debut in the last Olympics. She was only 14 years old, and she finished in 4th place. She's beaten Katie Ledecky a couple of times in races lately. She's coming on as far as being the best in the world is concerned, but swimming, they have like so many different events. She's like a heavy favorite in 2 of them, and she's sort of right there in a couple of them. So the projection for Summer McIntosh is for her to win 5 medals in the Olympics in total. Not gold, but she's expected to come back with 5 medals, and like really like they're expecting like an historic haul from her. She's kind of a lock. Like, put it this way, guys. She's a minus 2,500 favorite to win the women's 400 individual medley. 2,500 favorite. So, like, she's a slam dunk to win. She's a slam dunk to win the women's 200 butterfly as well. So there's 2 gold medals. There's a judokai on Team Canada, dude, who's just like a killer. And he's projected to win. I just saw an interview with him the other day, and he basically was like very confident about, I'm going to destroy everybody and I'm going to win the gold medal. So I'm buying in that he's going to win. I'm counting on Philip Kim, my boy from Toronto, the wizard, the break boy, breakdancing. He's like one of the co-favorites to win.
One of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and have a Spanish crowd, especially level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed. Right, I've been able to play events in Spain.
Here in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta, it's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
It has so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club, but so much has happened through the years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had all gold championships, and now we have Live.
It's very exciting, and if there was ever a place to get my first win, I feel like this would be the perfect week.
I feel like this windy, this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. It's fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
What the heck course were you playing today?
I don't know.
It's brutal out there.
It is brutal. I don't know. It was. I just made everything I looked at. You have those days. I suppose this is one of those days for me, so I really shouldn't. I really enjoyed it. Every time I stood over a putt, just felt like I could make it, and you don't get days like that too often, or certainly I. So yeah, I relished in it, and I managed to hit a lot of good shots as well. So it was a special day.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. All right, so to quickly recap our total medal bets. Canada over 5.5 gold medals. Summer McIntosh, I think she can get like 3. Judo guy wins 1. Maybe the breakdancer guy wins 1. And then there's a million events, you know, kayaking and this and rock climbing, whatever, climbing, and you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Speed walking. Like, you know what I mean, Cam? No, Canadian women are really good at water events. Oh, there's going to be like, you know, people we've never heard of before. Yes. Oh, she won the women's kayaking 400. And like, you know what I mean? They're good at this. They're going to steal a couple of medals that we're not even talking about, you know?
Yeah, people don't know. Canada, even if we don't get like for total medals, watch out for us. Canoe, kayaking, water sports, very strong. Agreed.
And as always, I always say this every Olympics. It'll be Canadian women that'll save my ass. Watch. Like, we're going to count, like, the women. Like, Summer McIntosh can probably get 3 for me. And then I got to hope a couple of women win in the water and the boating type stuff. Canadians are good at that. And maybe we steal the breakdancing, the judo. I think they can get to 6. USA, whatever. They're just going to, it's an ambush of Americans here. I think the Americans are going to win do very well in the track and field. The women's 100 meter, I already bet on the American Richardson. Noah Lyles has a good shot at winning multiple gold medals. The U.S. women's soccer team, we'll get to that. But so anyways, Canada over 5.5, China over 33.5, France is 25.5 now, guys, and I actually got 26.5, so I got a worse number. But you can get France, and it's even higher than plus 125 now. People are whatever. I don't know what's going on. There's a steam against France. Like, their number keeps dropping on a daily basis as far as them winning gold medals. And then the U.S., 39.5, decent number. I think they'll get like 41, 42, 43 type of range. I think they'll squeeze over this number. All right, as far as tennis is concerned, this is really cool, the tennis this year, because it's at Roland Garros. So, like, it's basically like another tennis major again. And we got some big-time, a lot of the big-time players are there. Not all of them are there, but most of them are. And we're going to start off with Alcaraz to win the men's. He just won the French Open right now. He just won Wimbledon. He's on a roll. All right, so he's starting to dial things up right now. He's also very engaged. Like, he's fired up. Like, he wants to win a gold medal. He's, like, serious about Spain, and he's so freaking serious. Not only is he playing, him and Rafael Nadal are a doubles team together, all right, for Spain. So, like, he's taking it seriously, Alcaraz. Joker's just too worn out right now. I talked about Casper Ruud before. Cam's pretty good on clay. There's a couple of dudes that can sort of hang around. And, Sinner's playing. Sinner's a badass. Right, but I can't bet on everybody. You're getting plus money on Alcaraz. I'm going to parlay him with Swiatek. And Swiatek is kind of the stone-cold lock of this, guys. She's minus 188 to win on her own. She's won 4 of the last 5 French Opens. She's won the last 3 French Opens. She's dominant. She's been in the last 5 finals. She's by far, she's the clay woman king, right? So she's going to win. That's why she's like a minus 188 favorite, and Alcaraz is plus 115. You're getting a little bit of plus money. You parlay them together, you're getting plus 302. Little beach volleyball, men's and women's, parlay together. Åman and Helvig, the Swedish duo. We talked about it last week. For whatever bizarre reason, Nordic countries own beach volleyball. It makes no sense, but they do.
So, I love it.
Norway are the defending champions, Cam. Like, Norway, the defending. You figure USA, Brazil would be like, you know what I mean? Be like USA, Brazil, Spain. Yeah, exactly. They take these killer good volleyball players, put them on the sand. And like McKinnon said last week, he goes, not a lot of teams have like 2 6'9" guys in beach volleyball. Yeah. These Swedish guys are both 6'7" and 6'8". And they get everything. So they're the world champs 2 years running. They've been dominant. I'm not going to pretend to be a beach volleyball expert, but I've done a lot of research on this. These two are dominant. Like, there's them, and then there's everybody else type of deal. So, and they didn't win the gold medal before, so they're all gung-ho on winning a gold medal, these two. And then you get into the women's here with Ramos and Lisboa Duda. They've started to come around. They were losing to the Americans before, but now the Brazilian women's team have kind of stepped up. They just won the world championships. They're on a roll coming into this. So you parlay them together, you're getting plus 425. Not bad. Now let's get into the sports that some people care about more, Cam. I'm rolling the dice with both French teams.
I love this. Parlay them.
One of them is going to win. Like, they're not both losing. Like, they just didn't win the Euro Cup. Dude, the French team has a bunch of dudes. Like, the French team is loaded. Like, they're stuck. They're trying to win the gold medal at home. Thierry Henry is their manager. And they're the favorites, but you're still getting a nice little plus 225 with them. And it's basically a 3-team tournament between Spain, Argentina, and France. and France are the home nation. And then you get to the women's guys, plus 500 for the French woman, who I do probably think are going to get to the championship game. Like they're as good as anybody.
Them, Gabe. Why not? The French two-step. I did something crazy. I just want to say one thing quickly. I did Sweden, women's golf, men's golf, Berg and Lynn Grant, 246 to 1, and on my other book, 302 to 1, because they have crazier odds. But on the book that we shop at, 246 to 1. Both Swedes, yeah, like you won beach volleyball on the golf course.
Yeah, but you had a Swedish Brazilian parlay, beach volleyball. But if you think the Swedes are going to win, break up into two as well. So if one of them is winning the goal, we'll get into the golf later in the week. As far as the Olympics are concerned, great golf course. That's the one cool thing about this. Like I said, you got the tennis at Roland Garros, the golf at the Club National. It's a big, beautiful golf course. Thing is just, the beach volleyballs at the Eiffel Tower. It's going to be aesthetically really, really fun to watch these Olympics. But you know what? There's always talk about the women's Olympics, right? Because it means a lot to them, and they don't have as much as the men in the World Cup and all this. But they're not playing around, man. Like, as far as, playing. Like, the Argentina have 4 World Cup winners on their team. Julian Alvarez is on the team.
One of the many exciting things about joining was being able to come here and have a Spanish crowd, especially in a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed. I've been able to events in Spain.
Here in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta. It's so there's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, there's so much history behind it. It's only a 50-year-old club. So much has happened through the years. We have the Ryder Cup, we have all gold championships, and now we have.
It's very exciting, and if there was ever a place to get my first win, I feel like it would be the perfect.
When this golf course is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
So,
what course were you playing today?
I don't know.
It's brutal out there.
It is brutal. I don't know. It was despite everything I looked at, Jerry. You have those days. I suppose this is one of those days for me, so I really shouldn't. I really enjoyed it. Every time I stood over, I just felt like I could make it. And you don't get days like that too often, or I don't. So, I relished in it, and I managed to hit a lot of good shots as well. So it was a special day.
This is SportsRage. I'm Gabriel Morency. Wild night for a Monday night. Our apologies for the Twitter stream. I know it's been choppy. There was technical issues. I don't know. Been one of those weekends. Like I said, last night, fire alarm went off in our place in the middle of the night. I had to sit on the sidewalk for like an hour. And it turned out someone set their mattress on fire. I'm sure that'll go down well with the condo board. How'd you do that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why? Like.
Wait, what do you say? I was reading porno when I fell asleep. I was smoking bad.
Yeah, but the guy's an idiot. Like, how is it that you didn't wake up and like there's people on the street like yelling up, "Hey, there's a big fire going on!" Like
that guy must have been annihilated. Like, if you can't wake up when your mattress is on fire, you're in orbit. Yeah,
I think they were Australian, to be honest. They're probably buddies with Mick.
What
They were like there were 3 Australian people. Like they were,
I think they were Australian.
yeah, I was next to them after. Like the fireman was upset. Like he was like, all right, so like he started drilling them. Like what happened exactly? And, like what time? And they were very serious and like legal and professional about it. There were like 6 trucks. Like there was a cop shut down and everything. It was a major ordeal. All right, so baseball. Let's check in on those strikeout props for you, Cam. Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants in a rivalry tonight at Chavez Ravine, and River Ryan made his debut this evening for the Dodgers. One of their top pitching prospects. We're tied at 1 right now, and Ryan has gone 5 innings of baseball. We're to the top of the 6. He's got 2 strikeouts. Man, I need 4 to win the bet. He's pitched 70 pitches, 5 innings. He's given up 1 run on 3 hits, and it was actually Will Smith's fault. The ball got away from him. Meanwhile, you got a puncher's chance, and Blake Snell is up to 4 strikeouts right now, but you need another 3 from him.
Actually,
Snell's a big wuss. They're going to take him out of the. They're going to take him out soon.
I have 6 and 6.5, but 6.5 was plus 132 games. I've taken your book and gone minus 5.5 with a little bit of juice, so 6 wins. That's the thing. I think he can get to 6. Can't he?
George Kurtz in the house with us. Has any action on this game? George, Dodgers and Giants. I rolled the dice with River Ryan making his debut. I like these fastball pitchers. Hitters haven't seen them before. I thought it was a reasonable number at 3.5. But he's at 2. He's pitching well, but he's only had 2 strikeouts. And everybody was on Snell tonight. The over 6.5 was Snell. Snell at 4. I'm on the Dodgers and the under as well in this game. Who do you have in this game?
I actually went with the under with you. I didn't touch the pitchers. I would not Snell over because you just don't know what you're going to get with him. He's a lot of times he's a 5 and fly guy, so I'm not going to bet on that. I actually took the Giants in this game because I thought Dodgers big series boy over the weekend. They go there, get sweet, So maybe Giants catch a break in this game.
Snell's been good recently, though, George. He had 8 against Minnesota, 2 7s, and his low end was 3 against the Jays in his last 4. 7-7, 8-3. So he has been striking out more recently. Just
The in-game total is currently 6.5 right now. Top of the. There is a runner on third base right now with 1 out. And, San Francisco, now second and third now after another hit here. So San Francisco will become the favorite in this game, and looks like
second.
What?
First and third. River.
He had to go
first and third.
Second base. Good play.
River Ryan taken out of the game. Son of a. So I lose the over 3.5.
Give the kid credit here. 73 pitches, 5 and 3.
Hollywood.
Good job.
I think he
great job.
Great.
If he was a real all-star, he would have pitched a shutout.
And gave you 4 games.
This came from a guy who lost the bet. That's always why.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Back on Wednesday. Kershaw Thursday. It's a good week, fan.
Great debut for him. Like I said, the run scored wasn't a wild pitch. I don't know, like Will Smith just didn't catch it. Like the ball, it should have been caught. It got away from Will Smith. That's how San Francisco scored their run. But they do have runners on first and third right now with 1 out in this game. As George mentioned, Dodger staff, they have some guys coming back right now, including Clayton Kershaw. So Clayton Kershaw will be starting on Thursday later in the week. Glasnow set to come back. Yamamoto now throwing 200 feet or more. It's coming again.
One of the many exciting things about joining was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, especially in a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't yet. Right? Been able to mention Spain.
Here in the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta. It's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, so much history behind. It's only a 50 years old club. So much has happened for years. And we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Championships, and now we live.
It's very exciting, and if there was ever a place to get the first win, I feel like this would be a perfect week.
Like when it is golf is so difficult that it's equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back and be with the home crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
What the heck course were you playing today?
I don't know.
It's brutal out there.
It is brutal. I don't know. It was. I just made everything I looked at. Yeah, it was just one of those days for me. So I really, I really enjoyed it. Every time I stood over a putt, I felt like I could make it, and you don't get days like that often, or certainly I don't. So yeah, I relished in it, and I managed to do a lot of good shots as well. So it was a special day.
It's SportsRage. I'm Morency. We got a one baseball game at Chavez Ravine right now. There's 2 outs. Dodgers, of course, what a great weekend. Somewhat of a surprise today with the Dodgers and James Paxton. Was Paxton perfect? No. But he actually pitched. He was reliable on a team in which everybody got hurt all the time. And Dodger Nation actually, people were very surprised about this move. They win. The guy was 8-2. Yeah, his ERA was 4, but he was an innings eater on a team forge, and everybody was hurt. They decided with everybody coming back, right? Somebody had to go, and it ends up being Paxton. But like I said, even people close that covered the Dodgers said this was not something that they heard. It did come as a surprise that Paxton was the one.
It makes sense, though. I mean, we know Glasnow's coming back Wednesday. Kershaw's coming back on Thursday. He's going to get booted from the rotation, and it comes down to, is he going to be on the playoff roster? Can he be alone? Would he be any good at that?
He will be back.
That's what it comes down to.
I guarantee he'll be back because somebody else is going to get hurt, and he has experience, Gabe. I you know what?
Well, I think somebody before that.
No, yeah, somebody's going to sign him.
Yeah, you're right.
He's on waivers now, so someone can claim him.
He won't be picked on waivers. No one's taking the contract. But as soon as he clears waivers, he's going to sign with somebody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He will take over Cortez. Give me over next to Cortez right now. I'll take his Paxton. Deadly.
We'll have multiple spots to choose, to be honest.
Yes.
Because you won't have to give up anything for him. You won't have to give up anything for him. There's all these other pitchers, the trade outs coming, you're going to have to give something up for him. The thought was that, you know what, maybe Paxton can help in the bullpen. Maybe they thought, you know what, no. Maybe they thought, no, that's not the way we're going to go here. Even with everybody coming back, do you expect, Kurtz, the Dodgers to acquire a pitcher?
I mean, what's the price? I don't think it'll be a top guy. And there aren't so many pitchers that are out there, by the way. I mean, Crochet's out there, but that's going to cost you an arm and a leg. Schoolboy, if that's true, I don't know what the Tigers would be thinking. Why would you trade Schoolboy? Why would you do it? Is somebody
They're talking clarity, George, not Schoolboy. Schoolboy, a lot of
clarity stuff for the Dodgers in the playoffs. I mean, that Stone. I mean, Stone's been pretty good for them. You know, Glasnow's starting.
If there's one thing,
Yamamoto will be back.
You got this, and you know it, Kurtz. If there's one thing with the Dodgers refuse to get overpay and get ripped by people for players. They're pretty good at that. Like they're not going to bend over backwards to get like Flaherty or I think they will. Supposedly they do Crochet because they faced them this year. So that's one thing that the scouting staff, they saw him in person already. He pitched against them. The Dodgers won that game 3-0, but he pitched well against them. So I think they do like him. Yeah, that was the one when they were.
Yeah. Like, thank you.
And I thought it was
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all did.
3-0.
Hit that one hard. The thing about Crochet though is I would worry about. He's great. I think he's going to help anybody, but more in the future. I don't know if he's going to be. How many innings do you want to throw this guy this year? He's never thrown this many as it is, and the White Sox will certainly shut him down at some point. So I think if you get him for the future.
That's the thing, Gabe. Like, it surprised me, the White Sox, because they're talking about Luis Robert, too, and Crochet, and then they can restock their farm system with those guys, which totally makes sense because they're so bad, but they're leaving this guy out. He's pitching well and stuff. Like, the White Sox management, like, they're not really doing themselves any favors because you got to save this guy because we've got a lot for him. Yeah,
It's too soon, though. Like, you can't shut him down in mid-July with a trade deadline July 30th. Like, 2 weeks. You know what I mean?
They got to showcase him.
Exactly.
Maybe calm his innings down, goes 4 innings, here, maybe skip a start. I would have done stuff like that. They haven't hit him since the old, giving him a break. They're trying to do what they can here, but they're trying to thread the needle here. By the way, what about Walker Buehler? Isn't he in this mix too? If he can figure it out, it's a full race.
He's coming back. He's back at Dodger Stadium as well. They're all working out. He's close to returning.
Glasnow, Kershaw,
that's why. That's why I don't think. I think the only way the Dodgers. I think Crochet's the only guy. Like, what's the point of bringing Chris Bassett, Flaherty, or something? He's not better than the guys you have. Right? So you're gonna be like, what's the point of bringing this guy when we have all these guys coming back? And even if half of these guys only work, we don't need them. But I think the Dodgers like Crochet in the longer haul. You know what I mean? Kershaw's not going to be there forever. Right? They figure, you know what? This guy's actually good. I think if they like you, do it, but they don't just do it for the sake of doing it. But now the Blue Jays, Cam, and I'll throw it to you, it's your Blue Jays. It looks like they're on the verge of making some right now. We've talked about it. It looks like Kikuchi will be the one. That's almost a slam dunk. All I need to know was Kikuchi. He thanked fans the other day after his start. Right? So that's all you need to know about that. He basically said, if this is my last start here, I want to thank everybody. And I love being a Blue Jay. Great stadium out here. I don't control it. It's a business. His contract's up at the end of the year. It is what it is. So Kikuchi and people are going to want him. That's going to happen. Chris Bassett's going to happen. I saw that Heyman, and I'll throw this one to you, Kurtz. Is Heyman ever right about anything? Or is he just throw things out there for so I read his report here about Vladimir Guerrero. Okay, Vladimir Guerrero to the Seattle Mariners. And then he goes on to say in his report, I don't think they're trading Vladimir Guerrero, but it would make sense. It would be an interesting trade. So that's not a report then. That's just think Guerrero would look good in the Seattle uniform.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's not a report. No, but it's not he goes on to say Toronto have been talking, and Seattle are looking to add players. And then he said, but ideally it would be Vladimir Guerrero, but that's not who they're talking about. But ideally, if they could get Guerrero, it would be good for Seattle. Yeah, if.
Sure.
It wasn't a real report to Guerrero, but now the media runs with it. Oh, Guerrero could be on the market now. They don't want to trade Guerrero. They want to get rid of all the pitchers and everything like that. They don't want to get rid of Guerrero.
He's the same guy that said Ohtani was coming to the Jays, so be careful what a report is and what some guy's opinion is. And you're right. The arms, they can definitely get rid of. To your point, great call, Gabe. Dodgers don't have to make a move. It's like 4 trades with other stars coming back. George, I was basically saying Flaherty to a team like the Yankees or the Orioles or somebody like that. I think that would be an upgrade with their rotation. Unlike the Dodgers, they're already, they're going to be stacked. These guys come back. Gabe, you're right. Kikuchi's done, and I think Bassett has got one foot out the door as well. I'm not sure about the position players. To see somebody go, I don't know who
I would dump Gossman I was the Jays if I could, but no one's going to want that contract.
That's kind of the thing. He's not having a Gossman-like year, and we have depleted, minor system. It's a train wreck in Toronto right now. Let's call it what it is. It's been a disaster with Atkins and Shapiro.
Bichette just can't stay healthy this year. I wouldn't completely blow it up, but like Cam just said, George, the Blue Jays, they're in a bad spot. Their farm system there's nothing there. So they put themselves in a position now where they're going to have to sign free agents again, and they haven't gotten it right over the years. I wouldn't blow it up. I would just sort of say, listen, this team made the playoffs 3 years in a row. This year was just one of these train wreck type of years. It is what it is. It's going to happen. But at the same point in time, if I was the Rogers group that owns this team, I would clean house with everything. Atkins, Shapiro, and Big John Stud can go to Monday Night Raw because he'll have time. You're done. You're fired.
The Boogie Woogie Man.
Start over. There needs to be a cultural change, but it doesn't mean you tell Bichette and Guerrero to go screw up. They're young players. They're good players. Like, you have a core here. You got to figure this thing out, but I think it's been proven that the people in charge are not going to do it. Like, they're digging, like, deeper now. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. They spent $295 million.
I know.
One of the many exciting things of Live was being able to come here and play in front of Spanish, especially a level of event and level of competition that I really enjoy right now. Being able to play events in Spain.
And the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta. It's so special. So much history, so much Spanish history.
It has so much history behind it. It's only a years old club, but it's has happened through the years. I mean, we had the right, we had World Championships, and now we have Live.
It's very exciting, and if there was ever a place to get my first win, I feel like this would be the perfect.
This golf course is so difficult that it's equally no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the crowd. It's always a joy to have this many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
What the heck course were you playing today? It's brutal out there.
It is brutal. I don't know. It was. Everything I looked at there, you have those days. It's one of those days for me, so I really enjoyed it. Every time I put over a putt, I just felt like I could make it, and you don't get days often, or certainly I don't. So I really enjoyed it, and I managed to hit a lot of good shots as well. So it was a special day.
One of the most unfolded Dodgers this year, although he got his just due last week. It was just 1 week ago tonight. He won the home run derby, actually. Is Teoscar Hernandez. You know, Mookie Betts has been injured. Ohtani gets all the media attention, and it should. I brought this up earlier in the day with Scott Farrell, actually, when he asked me about the series against the Red Sox. Freddie Freeman is starting to heat up right now. And he really wasn't hot to start the year. He wasn't bad, and we talked about it like, you're a good player if you're hitting like 285 and people think you're struggling. Right? But he started dialing up right now, Freddie Freeman. But Teoscar Hernandez is giving the Los Angeles Dodgers a 2-1 lead right now in the bottom of the sixth inning. The Dodgers are currently minus 360 suddenly on the money line. George Kurtz has gone silent.
Yeah. He has.
Captain Chalk breaks his trend tonight and goes with the Giants.
So the Oscar could have been looking good in Seattle or a Blue Jays uniform. It's just a plethora.
Yeah, he was on the Blue Jays and Seattle.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Now Seattle needs a bat. It's like, well, you had Teoscar Hernandez, you idiots. They're clowns. Another thing is, too, like with their little, with the Heyman, Guerrero to Seattle. Seattle aren't going to pay, bro. They've proven it. They pay Rodriguez. We always talk about it every contract. They're never in on anything. That ownership group is just sort of,
they talk.
Mid, as the kids say. You know what I mean? They sell tickets, they compete, but they're not all in, Cam, the Mariners. Dude, they've never made a World Series. Like, look, they haven't made they're not in. They're not an all-in ownership group. They're just not.
That's what the kids say. Mid, just average. Mid,
yeah,
middle. Like, yeah.
That means
they're there. They're there. Now the Jays, they're mid.
They had hitting, man. With that staff, they'd be dangerous. But they've got, I think their team batting average. The team batting average is like 210.
This is the imagine we're in ownership and we roll out these pitchers. Go out and get some bats. Like, this is it, Seattle. You can't, this is not.
There's not that many bats available. So that's the whole thing. We can go back in time to have them. Who can they get? Robert is available.
Who's the best?
I know. There's no bats available coming up here, really.
Louis Robert. He's available.
You want
what?
See, the Jays have all these bad players, like bad deals.
Yeah, you're right.
Mid. He's hot now.
He's less than mid right now with the Jays. I'm pick on him.
Yeah, you're right.
My problem with the Mariners, though, that we knew they were going to have enough coming into the season. They let Hernandez go, which we're all joking about. I thought they needed to keep Hernandez and add a bat. So now we needed 2 bats. Julio Rodriguez has not been Julio Rodriguez this year, so now you need 3 bats. It's a shame because I think if they just had an average offense, they'd be right there with Baltimore as far as maybe being the best team in the American League. And now I think Houston's going to enter that division. And I hate Houston.
They keep thinking Rodriguez eventually is going to break through, and that's almost like an addiction because he really doesn't give him anything, right? So they think, okay, he can't be like this the entire year. I agree with you. I think Houston's going to surpass them. And Cleveland, Minnesota are starting to lose ground here. Cleveland have a 4-game lead on the Kansas City Royals. Yankees, you know what? We got some stuff in the American League here. I'll get the future odds up, and we'll see.
That's the thing. They just keep on trucking along, winning on them. It's the Royals. Like, they're getting surprising. Like, you know what I mean? They're just raking too. Like, they rake.
If the playoffs started today, the Royals are actually a wild card team right now.
Amazing.
The Yankees are a wild card team. The Royals are in, and the Twins are in. But the Twins are only a game up on the Red Sox. The Mariners are 2.5 back, and I don't know if they're going on a run, guys, but they're starting to win more than they lose. The Tampa Bay Rays. They're sort of lurking. They're 4.5 back.
I'm going to sell off. I think they might sell off next week. And I think that's the issue.
You guys
with them.
are talking about the Tigers, too? I don't know why the Tigers would be thinking about trading anybody. Like, they're 50 and 51. You're only 5.5 back of the card spot. Like, and in fact, you're like 4 games back of the last wild card spot. I don't understand these teams. This is a new thing, Cam. Like, I understand trading players when a contract is up. You know you're not resigning a guy, but this modern sports curse of teams, they don't do it in the NHL as much. NBA is like, after 10 games, oh, well, you know what, we're not going to win the championship, so let's trade everybody. So, so let's just start over every year, guys, right? I'm telling people to slow down with the Jays. Just because you're not winning doesn't mean you get rid of Bichette and Guerrero. Let's get rid of our 2 good players because we're not winning. No, let's get other good players, right? But teams are just dumb nowadays. They start over all the time, and it's like a perpetual rebuild all the time. Like, if I'm the Tigers, I would just battle through it this year and then sign some players in the offseason and be more aggressive next year.
The Tigers have been fantastic. They had Scooble going today. They got the bats. They murdered Cleveland. Say they actually like in the series or whatever. You about a game. 5 games is nothing. There's tons of baseball left. That's the whole thing. Don't quit now. I can understand
7-3 in their last 10.
Yes, they're playing great baseball. Like it's actually disappointing to your fan base when you think like that too. Like, who wants a quitter? Like, you know what I mean? We go out there, we play, we try to win the damn game. But yeah, they're there. I don't think they should be selling anything. Stick with it.
The National League is crazy. You know, whenever the games are going on here, I want to get to make the playoff odds, but whenever there's a bunch of games going on, they don't have all the odds up. They pull.
Who's for San Fran? Somebody hit a home run or something.
Yes, San Fran tied it. The Angels tied it as well, by the way.
What was the 5 the Oakland game? The game has come to an end.
4-0.
Good call, Morency. You called that under.
Like that?
No
There wasn't another run scored.
Yeah, that's a real day. Oakland. Ooh, what a performance.
Yeah, it was 4-0 early in the game, Kurt. It was total 8.5. I said, I'm going under. I said, maybe they shut down.
That's good play.
You had Oakland by mistake the other night and won. Right? That was you, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying, Oakland's your team. You're on tilt. I remember watching. You're on tilt. You still won. It's like, this never happens.
No, it was a smaller bet. It was a smaller bet. But, yeah, I bet on the Dodgers.
Oakland's a great win. It's great.
One of the many exciting things of joining Live was come here and playing in front of a Spanish crowd, especially on a level of event and level of competition that I hadn't really yet enjoyed. I've been able to play events in Spain.
Here at the beautiful Valderrama, which some say is the European Augusta. It's so special. There's so much history here. There's so much Spanish history here.
Well, it has so much history behind it. It's a 50-year-old club, but it's so much happened for years. I mean, we had the Ryder Cup, we had World Golf Championship, and now we have Live.
It's very exciting, and really, if there was ever a place to get my first win, I feel like this would be the perfect week.
I feel like when it is the win, it is, of course, it's so difficult. Equally stressful no matter when or where you're playing it. But it was fun. It's always fun to be back home and be with the crowd. It's always a joy. This many people supporting me all day. It's so much fun.
What the heck course were you playing today?
I don't know.
It's brutal out
It is. I don't know. It was. I just made everything I looked at, Jerry. You have those days. I suppose this is one of those days for me, so I really I really enjoyed it. Every time I ever putt, just felt like I could make it, and you don't get days like that too often, or I don't. So yeah, I relished in it, and I managed to hit a lot of good shots as well. So it was a special day.
All right, we got some close ball games going on right now. We got a 1-1 game in Pacific Northwest with aforementioned Seattle Mariners struggling offensively tonight. 1-1. The Mariners are currently minus 190. I was going to say it's a good time to jump in right now, but they're coming up to bat. We just missed an opportunity at a better number. To bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. We got a wild one in the Mile High City, guys. The Red Sox have taken an 8-7 lead. We're in the bottom going into the is the game over now? Did it just end? I think it is. Is this game done? The Red Sox just win, or is there another Is there another half inning coming up here?
I have no idea. I'll just tell you one thing about the Rockies, though. They either win, they lose on the run line. Look at their last 4. Like these guys, every game is tight. Oh,
yeah, no, they do. They've got 3 outs to give here. Yeah, they just locked it. Bottom 12. I'm looking for the odds here. They froze it, so it confused me. They're not putting it back up. Outcome of I like this. Outcome of next at bat. Some hardcore degenerate stuff here. I want to bet on the Rockies. I think they're going to come back.
Rockies are good to me. Very good.
They're down 8-7. Like I said, I can see the Red Sox blowing this. Been going back and forth. Here it is. Now I can get in. The Rockies are plus 120. Oh my God! This is just my luck. My phone died. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. There's one thing after another.
Kelly Jansen for the Red Sox. Jansen left us with the team in Colorado due to his heart condition. He won't play.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I don't blame him, by the way.
That is horrible, man.
I'm not going to get this in on time.
Thanks.
We'll see.
Rockies. Look at the Rockies. They beat the Mets. They beat the Giants. They beat the Giants. They lost by 1 to the Giants. They beat then now it's 1 run against the Red Sox. Like they've been playing competitive baseball the last while. Don't sleep on these guys.
Mariners minus 280.
It's crickets. It's guys.
Mariners have run around first one and one out.
No, I want to get in on the Rockies. I'm not going to sell them, but I'm trying to get in on them here.
Well, I'm just trying.
And I'm getting screwed over because my phone died. I had to recharge it, and now they have runners on. I thought they had a runner on third.
Giving the Rockies bad cheat. Come on now.
Yeah, you should be cheering. You're a Yankee fan. You should be pulling for the Rockies. Tied it, son of a. I knew it
was a problem for the Yankees, and the Yankees have real big issues.
Bottom of the inning. See, Rockies.
God, get screwed over. I don't know what it is in the last 24 hours.
Second, nobody out, by the way, in the fight game. 2 productive outs.
Yeah, now they're minus 500. I wanted to bet on them at plus 120. I couldn't get it in because my phone died. Now it's minus 500.
I mean, what they got? Guy in third outs here? What's the deal?
Second, nobody out. Second, nobody out. The Rockies.
Okay. I thought it might be like a wild pitch. Then they're really good. If Stack Fly would win the game.
Now,
unless that guy made an error, that's why the guy got the second base. Who's playing left field overran the ball. Was that Tyler O'Neill, I think?
First and second. You know what, though? I can see Colorado screwing this up, actually. Boston at plus 320.
Now. Throw it up.
Yeah, those losers.
No. Get it plus 120. They were down by 1 run at plus 120. That was the bet. I could have got it in, but my phone was dying, like dead.
Yeah.
God.
It's all the same theory I put against the Dodgers. Big series against the Dodgers. Maybe the Boston go up a little slow here. So I bet on a small bet, but a little slow bet on the Rockies here. So
but the logic for the Dodgers doesn't work. It's the San Francisco Giants, their biggest rival.
Yeah,
it's true. Very true. I don't know, man. Samsung dinosaur phone game, but I don't know all day and it's down like 2%. You got to get an old phone, baby. They last forever.
Like the Red Sox, sure. I mean, but this actually a division game too. Like the hate is real for the Giants and the Dodgers. Like they are. It has that extra edge to it, so you're not going to catch them. My deal was just I don't like betting on a team that wins every day. Actually, they're not going to, they're not going to win every game out of the All-Star break, and so far so good. They've won all 3. So 8-8 in the baseball game in the Mile High City. It's been a wild one. 1-1 Seattle and the Mariners. So we got 3 games, and all of them are tied right now. Crazy stuff. Mo stepping up their level.
one of the many exciting things about joining Live was being able to come here and play in front of a Spanish crowd, level